In this module, we will add debug controls that will allow us to change our variables while we play. This will allow us to test a lot of different values for them. We will also need to communicate these values back to ourselves so we know what the current value is. When looking at our first person character, we can see that we already have some input set up. Move forward, move right, jump. These all have associated keys with them. For our debug controls, we don't need something so official. I just want our movement speed to go up when we scroll the mouse wheel up, and I want our movement speed to go down when we scroll the mouse wheel down. We can set up events for that directly in here. So right mouse button and look for mouse wheel up. And we'll do the same for mouse wheel down. Let's reposition these a little bit, move them up, zoom in. When we look at them, we can see pressed and released. In this case, that means scrolling or not scrolling. The next part we know how to do. We can grab our character movement component and we'll set the maximum walk speed. I can copy paste this, but I need to make sure to hook up the character movement component. Make this go into pressed, make this go into pressed. So line them up. What will happen right now is when we scroll up or down is that we'll set the maximum walk speed to 0. We want to change the current value. So in order to change the current value, we need to do get max walk speed. Now that we have the maximum walk speed, we need to change it somehow. So you can drag off of this and look for plus, and you'll get float plus float. Press enter. Let's move these out a little bit. We'll do the same thing again. We'll look for minus float. Position these, I'll move this down. As you can see, it can get a little bit messy. So let's clean it up a little bit. You can double click on a wire to create a reroute node. So I'm going to do that twice. And I'm going to connect this to this one as well. This already looks a lot better. I'm going to move this back. Now we have a plus float and a minus float. Let's change this value to 100. So this is a very big number. So every time we scroll up, it will increase the movement speed with 100. And when we scroll down, we'll also do 100. Connect these. Compile and save. Let's press play, see what happens. We'll press play. We can walk around, and as we scroll up, you'll see that the character movement speed is increasing by a lot. Now this will probably not help you find the right value for your movement speed, but it could be fun. Something else you might notice is that it's hard to count the amount of times you move your mouse wheel up. So you really have no clue what the current speed is, so you have no idea what to change it to. Now we can feed back that information to ourselves using a bunch of different methods, but the easiest one would be a print string. Let's go behind the maximum walk speed and let's look for print string. We will connect the two. And right now the print string says hello. You can connect the float right into the print string and it will convert the float to text and it will print it back to us. I'm going to click the down arrow and I'm going to change the duration to 10. So this means it will stay on screen for 10 seconds. Compile, save. Now I'm going to do the same here. Print string. Drag that up, connect the two. Compile and save. So now when we press play and we walk around and we change the movement speed, you can see in the top left that our maximum walk speed is shown to us. It's probably smart to make these values a little bit smaller so you can really tweak it. But yeah, this is just an example showcase. What I like to do here, similar to the begin play, is comment everything, debug, and then describe the debug. The color I like to give it is red. This really makes it jump out, so that if you come back later, you open your blueprint, you're reminded that, oh yeah, I had debug in here, so you don't ship with the debug still enabled and have your players be able to change the maximum walk speed with a scroll wheel. We just had a look at adding debug controls and using these controls to change our variables while we were playing. Before going to the next video, maybe have a look if you can debug some other variables while tweaking them.